Hello and welcome back to Old School Modeler. My name is Nick. So today is the final on Grumpy's Toy. Bill Jenkins, Grumpy's Toy Vega. Uh, Doing a buddy build with Chevy Boy Model Car Shop, Rob over there. And he got his done real quick, and I've been having, or was having, paint issues, and mostly my fault. So I finally got it done. I first painted it white. That was the third time I painted it. The first time I painted it, there was some trash in it, like in the roof here and on the hatch. And I decided, and the rest of the car was perfect. I decided to wet sand it down, wet sand the whole car down, and then I repainted it. Everything was looking good, and then it wrinkled on the passenger door. So then I threw it in the dunk tank. I stripped it, and it was stripped, and then reprimered it, repainted it white. There's still some trash in that fender right there. You can kind of see, but the rest of the car is perfect. So I was like, I'm not gonna wet sand it down and do it again. You can see it has a nice gloss to it. It's glossy. It's not slick, but it's glossy. So then I did that. I let the white cure out. And then I taped off the bottom there. Paint in the rear, painted it red. And then within the first coat, the red on this side wrinkled. The front here it wrinkled. On this side it wrinkled. And then right here it wrinkled. So then I had to wait till that cured. And then I wet sanded it down, reprimed it, and then painted it. I slowed down. I got the temperature right this time, and it came out great. You will notice that from here to here, it's two different shades because I didn't redo this. This was the first red, and I taped it off. You can kind of see here, I taped this off too because that was the first coat, and I didn't want to mess with it. Same thing with there, it's a little lighter than the rest of it, so I wasn't going to mess with it. I just left it. And then once all that cured, I moved on to doing the decals. I first start off with this decal that goes around here. There's no way that decal can conform, excuse me, that decal cannot conform to that drip rail or, the B-pillar, and conform to in those vents. There's no way. I tried it, didn't work, ripped it off there, taped it off, hand painted it, I was looking at the box art. I was looking at reference photos to try to get the stripe as close as possible. And I think it turned out great. And I did that, and I started doing decals, and that was a lot of decals. This wasn't. It's my first NPC kit. It wasn't a bad kit. It went together well. Only thing I had trouble with is the back window and the quarter windows, because they're molded together, and then the windshield is molded with that. So I had to cut the middle out and cut, about to here, and then glued it in place with Mod Podge. The door glass that fits pretty good. Got the bumper. That was the easiest thing to put on, was the bumpers. I got the headlights in. The wheels, I got the wheels de-chromed, and then I sprayed them with Tamiya Silverleaf, and I didn't clear coat them. I got the wheelie bar on there. I had to fiddle with that a little bit. See, in the interior, I added a helmet. Looks similar to the one that Grumpy wore. See the tin work, that's the Tamiya Silverleaf. And you kind of see the battery back there, because I think that's where it is in the real car, but I couldn't find any photos. But I got it as close as I could. I didn't put the Firestone Drag 500s that come in this kit that are pad printed. I'm going to save those for another kit. And the reason I did that, because most of the photos I've seen on this car, you couldn't see the tire brand. And then I swapped out the front tires to little skinnier tires instead of the street tires that comes with the kit. So I think that looks a little better. On the box art, there's a bunch of sponsor decals here in the quarter. I didn't want to put those on there, and it would just look too busy. So I just did the normal decals. And I think that looks pretty damn good. Let's take a look underneath. The chassis is very basic in this kit. I did my best to detail it. I think on this car, the whole underneath is painted white, because I've seen in some photos that it looks like it's white underneath, but I already had it painted black. So I just painted the gas tank, the drive shaft, and what would be the front A-arms. Very basic chassis. The drive shaft, the rear end, that's all molded in. I don't really like that, but the kit went together pretty good. take a look under the hood. Very snug fit. I didn't sand the sides down to accommodate for the primer and the paint. So the engine bay is very basic. I cut those ugly inner fenders out. I was going to make sheet metal fenders that went down to the frame up here, but the angle would just not be right. So I don't know if you can see. You can see those holes where the firewall ends on there. So from the frame rail to the fender, it would not cover a corner. That corner there would be exposed, and I didn't want to make a piece, and I should have just made a whole new firewall, because I cut the heater box out, the wiper motor, and I cut all that crap out of there. And you can probably see I didn't do a very good job because that putty sucks. I took the big block valve covers out, and I replaced them with small block valve covers, but they're 1/24 scale valve covers out of the Revell plow truck or the big game country truck, or they're the chrome ones, and I de-chromed them and I painted them to resembles a small block better, even though it's technically a big block. But just went box stock with it, no plug wires, nothing. There is a radiator hose in the kit, but there's no detail there on the valley for anything, so I didn't put that in. Painted the headers white. So the inner fenders and the headers are not technically correct, but I can't make headers. I don't know how. I don't want to mess with it. And I gave up on the inner fenders because they just didn't want to work. So yeah, it's Grumpy's toy. 13 minutes, jeez. Rambling all too long. Alright, if you made it this far, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do what you want, build the model your way, and have a good night.